More information is also available on the website at www.atlantahealingcenter.com.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
Hello, everybody. This is Locked and Loaded. I am Roger Beer, and you're listening to America's Web Radio. Now, this week is interesting because last week was Shotshow, and I don't know how many of you know, but Shotshow is like the industry convention for all the new cool guns.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's better than the porn show.
Oh, my God, yes.
I'm saying it.
Gun porn.
I'm saying it.
Gun porn everywhere you turn. There are guys everywhere just gawking, jaws on the floor. It's amazing.
Roger, I don't know if we can do justice to people on what the SHOT Show really is. It is absolutely amazing. I mean, it is, how can I put this? Miles and miles or square footage
of gun stuff.
Of gun stuff. I mean, it's just...
Well, awesome. You know, the SHOT Show is for industry people only. However, the NRA show will probably be in a couple of weeks, and it usually has all the same or most of the same people there. So if you want to go, the NRA show is open to any NRA members.
The NRA show is as close as you can get to the SHOT Show.
Unless you finagle some stuff around, get some passes if you know a guy.
You got to know a guy. You know,
that's right. I'm working on next year knowing a guy and reporting back firsthand. But
you know, I used to know a guy with Mossy Oak, but then he left.
Oh, well, that's not going to help.
That was our ticket in then, but you know how it is. Everything in this world mostly is you got to know somebody.
That's right. It's not what you know, but who you know, and who knows you.
Who knows you. And that's why it's good to be part of the family.
But so, there's miles and miles of guns at the show, and I'm just going to cover a few of them today, as many as I possibly can. But first, I'm going to get into a little bit of politics.
What?
I know, imagine that. Politics involved with guns. How does that happen?
No. Wait, Roger, do you mean someone wants to take away your guns?
Well, now, wait a minute. This is the latest one to jump into the Democratic primary.
There's another one. Well, you mean the king of douchebaggery. I'm sorry, folks. I said that. Roger didn't say it. And I really, Roger, you know me. I try to be nice.
Good old Uncle Mike.
I do not like this guy at all. At all.
And he has made, you know, if you follow him at all, you know he is very anti-gun. He's very anti-gun ownership. He's very anything anti-gun permit. He doesn't want any citizens to actually own guns. He thinks we don't need them. But the funny part is he has armed guards around him 24/7 while he's fighting to disarm American citizens. So be aware, when you vote for this guy, he's going to put himself on a pedestal. He's going to be the guy who thinks he's entitled to armed protection while you are not. So that's just...
Well, Roger, it was not... We're talking a week or so ago. This... Oh, I'm trying to be nice. I really am. I'm going to call him Bloomberg douchebagger. I mean Bloomberg.
Bloombag?
That's perfect. Bloombag. I like it. That's his name. So it wasn't a week or so ago. This nut job Bloombag came out and did his little ads, and he was doing all kinds of anti-Second Amendment ads and take away your gun ads. And damn if he didn't turn around and was caught on camera with not one, not two, not three, but at least 4 or more armed guards.
Right, because he believes he is an elite. He's an elitist. He is the ruling class. Yep. He doesn't have to follow the rules that he sets for everybody else.
It's good for the peasants.
That's right. The peasants don't need guns because they don't want them to react
rise up
in case the ruling class. Now, there is no ruling class in America. There's not supposed to be.
Well, there's not supposed to be, but let me tell you, today's Democrat Party thinks they are a ruling class.
Oh, there's plenty of Republicans who think they're a ruling class, too.
That's probably true, too.
Politicians,
the establishment,
federal politicians tend to believe they are above the law. They have different rules that apply to them.
You know, I'll take you back to 2009 when Barack Obama went into the White House. His main right-hand lady, who I cannot remember her name, it escapes me right now, she actually was on the media and said, "We will be ready to rule on day one." Those were her words, that we're ready to rule. So, Roger, you are not off base here.
Of course not. I can read a little bit. I got out of third grade.
Yeah. Well, I told a story earlier about how I had to read to my mom, and I know your mom made you guys read.
Oh, God, yes.
Your mom is a lot like my mom.
And I can count to 21 in the shower, too.
That's right. And some people are going, why? Well, that's because we had dads that were like, you got 21 seconds to turn that water off.
I can count to 21 when I'm naked in the shower, but that's as far as I go. Yeah, but Bloomberg is, and the thing is, his information is just so totally wrong. All the statistics indicate that the states that have adopted a freer carry permit procedure have lower crime rates than those who have stricter gun control and stricter rates to carry guns.
And so an armed society is a
polite society.
Exactly.
Yes.
But he's never going to tell the truth. You know what, Roger? He knows he's lying.
Oh, of course, he doesn't
care. He knows
care.
he's lying.
Well, politicians tend to do that whenever their lips are moving.
This is, yeah, that's, unfortunately, it's not an understatement. And that goes for both sides of the establishment. Bunch of liars.
And now get this. I don't know if you remember, I'm trying to remember, Jack Clayton, the guy who stopped the shooting in the Texas church.
Right, in the church.
He had the audacity to suggest that the armed congregant who stopped the church shooting shouldn't have been armed, simply on the grounds that he wasn't law enforcement. So he believes only the police should have guns.
Yeah.
And only law enforcement and military should have guns. Now, wait a minute. Wasn't it just last year when they were saying that the police were shooting everybody for uncalled reasons?
Exactly.
So you're going to give just those people
Just
the guns
those
who you
people the
don't
guns.
believe are shooting people randomly anyway.
According to the Democrat Party and some of the establishment bureaucrats, the police are racist, and they're just running around shooting people, and they were trying to convince you and me and everyone else that they were out there just shooting black people and brown people. And now we're supposed to just give those people the guns.
Yeah, and there's the people you don't trust anyway. Oh, yeah. This seems like it's not making any sense. I mean, I'm not that smart, but I can't figure this out.
Isn't it amazing how progressivism and liberalism is constantly in conflict with itself?
The hypocritical attitude this guy has. I want armed guards around me, my house, my family 24/7, but you don't need a gun.
You don't get them. Well, that's why I dubbed them the Hypocrite Party.
Oh, yes. Well, he made that abundantly clear.
He's living up to it every day. But that's what people need to understand, Roger, is you've got a bunch of elected officials put there that's supposed to represent the people telling you, Roger, you don't need to fly. You don't need an SUV. You don't need that V10.
We need to save the planet, but they need to fly around everywhere.
They need to fly around. Exactly. All these things that you don't need, but we're the elitists. We get to do all those
right,
things. But it's like saying their crap doesn't stink.
It's like, why have a fire extinguisher if you have a fire department? Yeah, that's not how that works.
Exactly.
That's why you have a gun, because the police are minutes away when seconds
count. Yeah, when seconds count the most.
Now, I got to mention this too, even though it's not gun related. Occasional Cortex, yeah. She mentioned something this week that just had got me stumped. She said, the only reason Donald Trump is keeping his campaign promises is in order to influence the 2020 election.
No, she didn't. Tell me that you're just making that up.
No, I believe that was a quote. I saw it as a quote, and I saw it a couple places.
So now we are to believe that Donald Trump keeping promises and actually doing what he said he would do, that's going to be called meddling with the 2020 election.
Well, gee, if it works so well, maybe all the politicians could keep their promises.
Actually keep their promises? Ooh,
what a way to think that would be. Oh, my goodness. Oh, jeez. Okay, but we're going to get into a few guns now because, we made fun of politicians enough, the ones who don't want you to have guns. And right. Virginia is still a hotbed. Virginia is still going nuts. These people are trying to pass all these gun laws. The people there are trying to fight it. They're trying to do a recall, but I just don't think it's going to happen. And I have to remind these people again, everybody again, you have to get off your butt and vote. 5 million registered voters in Virginia, less than 1 million showed up in the last election. Yep. Less than 20% of the people showed up to stop these guys, and now they want to change everything after they lost. And, and the Democrats are saying, oh, sore loser, and they're right. They're absolutely correct.
Well, this is a prime example, Roger, of what people need to understand. Elections have consequences. And when you sit on your derriere and you allow the Democrats to take control, you allow Northern Virginia, basically, to take control of that state, this is what happens. Roger, Virginia had been under Republican control, the state itself, for years. This is the first time the Democrats have taken full-on control.
Oh, right, exactly.
And it took them all of 60 seconds to go after guns.
Oh, yeah. And Bloomberg was pumping money into Virginia because he knew they would push his gun control. In fact, that's probably why they're doing it. They probably made an agreement. If you give them money, you must push gun control immediately. Because for some reason, Bloomberg fears an armed society. And I'm not sure why. Maybe he's British or something. I'm not sure. Maybe he forgets what happened the last time someone said, "Give us your guns." Yeah, we shot them.
Exactly. They were on the wrong end of a business rifle.
That's right. It was,
But I would tell you, Roger, I think Bloomberg knows exactly what he's doing. He knows in order to finish off this country and go full on socialism, so there can be an elitist class, you have to seize the weapons.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the first steps in the manual of pushing socialism or communism.
The Communist Manifesto. If you look at the rules for communism, number one, education, and by all means, they've already got that. And number two is seize all weapons.
Right, because then you have a defenseless, uneducated society, and you can do what you want to do to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Give them just enough education to where they can work in the factories.
And if you're wondering what number three is, and
yeah, what is number three?
If I could be wrong here, but my
one of the top five.
My common sense, logical intellect is telling me that number three is, or number 4 or 5, one of them is you create division. You put people in victim boxes. So, you must hate the rich. You
or
must
the
hate
old,
the
or the
white guy.
Yes.
You must hate the this, that, and the other. Or I'm
the gay guy, the straight guy.
Exactly.
The women have to hate the men. The men have to hate the women.
Because if you can get the populace to fight each other, they take their eye off the bureaucrats.
And then
you're
it's just a matter of time.
You find yourself subjugated.
Exactly. So don't let division distract you from the goal. The goal is to maintain Second Amendment rights. To keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And Bloomberg wants to infringe on our Second Amendment rights. And I, for one, say we should not let him do this. And unfortunately, he's got a lot of money and he's buying votes in a lot of places. So, it's a matter of, will these monarchists, that's what I'm going to call them because that's what they're trying to be. They're trying to be kings. Yeah. They're trying to be kings and queens. These politicians are trying to be kings and queens. They're trying to put themselves above the common people instead of realizing they work for the common people. The people with all the guns, they're the people, the citizens who have guns, those are the people they work for. And there's a reason why the Founding Fathers did what they did and made that amendment so very important. But that was because when they came back from deer hunting, they said, oh my gosh, the deer are very dangerous. We better pass a law to allow people to have guns to hunt them with. Yeah, not. Yeah. All right, we're going to be back after a couple messages. I am Roger Bees with Victor Armendariz. This is America's Web Radio.
Hi, this is Steve Ronaldo, host of the Classic Car Show on America's Web Radio. Just talking to you about antique car insurance. I think that if you're looking for the best coverage for your classic car, consider J.C. Taylor Insurance. They've been my insurer for years in this hobby and have the top rating of all of the insurance companies in the hobby. When you get ready for insurance, call J.C. Taylor or visit jctaylor.com on the internet.
Quick Stakes, that's QUIK Stakes, are not just for surveyors. They are great for family and community gardens. Go online to www.quickstake.com or contact your local land surveying supply dealer and get you a box of Quick Stakes. You'll love them every year when you plant your garden. Again, that's Quick Stakes, QUIK Stakes, the truly preferred way to stake and identify what's in your garden now. Want to give your family or loved one the perfect gift? Then go online and check out the TornadoBodyDryer.com. I love mine and the warm heat air massage it gives me after my shower. The Tornado Body Dryer is super. You'll love it, and you'll love having one in your shower.
You're listening to America's Web Radio.
Okay, we're back. I am Roger B. This is Locked and Loaded, and as we've heard before, you're listening to America's Web Radio. And I have my special guest with me, Victor Armendariz
That's me.
From On Point with Victor. And we were just discussing how Bloomberg, or douchebag, is wanting to take our gun rights away. And like I said before, the Founding Fathers put the Second Amendment in the Constitution not because they came back from a deer hunt or a quail hunt or from shooting fish. They came back from freeing a country from the biggest empire in the world at the time, the most powerful empire in the world at the time.
They didn't run through the streets going, the deer are coming, the deer are coming.
That's right.
I mean,
that was not the threat.
They knew how to eat. They didn't need any help there.
And deer have never tried to take my gun away from me.
Never. They only run away from me.
But like I say, guns only have two enemies. Rust and politicians. And right now the politicians
or
are becoming
despots.
more of a problem than rust because a lot of guns are available in stainless steel now.
That's true. And we joke about it, Roger, but it's very true. How many today's college kids who are being taught socialism do not know about the revolution, do not know what was said.
Or any revolution.
Well, that's true.
The Russian Revolution, the Chinese Revolution. I mean, every revolution basically in the 20th century has started with the steps they do. Education, take the guns away, and then kill people.
Yeah, it's true. But it happened, folks, in this country, and they came for the guns, and that's what tipped the scales. And because we, as a group of people, said, "No, we ain't giving you my gun."
No, but hell no.
Hell no.
When the British came and asked for them, we were like, I don't think so. And then we shot them. But Americans we tend to like our guns. At least most of the people I know who are true Americans, and they at least believe in the right, even if you don't have to have one.
Right.
That's your right to not have one. You don't have to have one, but if you believe in the people's right to have one, that's important.
That's a good way to put it, Roger. You have every right not to have a gun, but we have every right to have one.
That's right.
And that's the way it is. There's no ambiguity there. It's as clear as the day is long.
You know, it's weird. They're called rights and not lefts.
Hey, that's a good point.
I just thought of that. I go, there seems to be a certain motion going here to predicate one party as being more right than others.
Right than others.
But anyway, Americans love their guns, and there's a gun called a minigun. I don't know how many of you know what a minigun is. It's basically a 6-barreled electrically powered Gatling gun.
And it's bad.
Yes, it is. It is very bad. It is so bad that it's great. In fact, there are several of them in private hands, and they use them in a lot of movies because they are just spectacular when it comes to spitting out linked
rounds and
rounds, and the links that hold the rounds together come spilling out like they're coming out of a bucket. And the company is Dillon, who makes the minigun. And this is a gun capable of it's adjustable because it's electric, between 3,000 and 6,000 rounds per minute. Ooh. So it shoots fast. And now the company that has developed and supplied miniguns for so long have now come out with a new Dillon Aero minigun in a .338 Magnum. So just in case the standard 7.62, the 308 version was not enough for you, now it's available in a .338 Magnum, which is going to give it an extended range, bigger bullets, more power. Now, I don't know how it'll affect, it's not completely portable, even though you see Schwarzenegger handling one in Predator. And I think...
It's a movie.
Yeah, that was a movie. I mean, it probably could be handled like that by a big enough guy, but this one would probably be a little bit bigger. So it's going to be in the traditional style of the minigun, have the 6 barrels rotating, electrically powered. So it'll be interesting to see. Of course, the other mini style guns would be the Vulcan cannon on the tip of an A10 Warthog, known for its ridiculously fast firing rate. So that's something you want to look for. I don't know if we'll see any of these anytime soon, but they're making them for special operators who wanted more power and more range out of the miniguns, especially on aircrafts. Because right now, I believe that the way guns are manufactured now, there's more computer-controlled cutting of parts and precision fitting. So most guns are more accurate today than they ever have been. So that's something to be considered. And with more accuracy, you need more power to extend the range of things. So it'll be interesting to see when they get these new 338 Magnum miniguns, and if it's a 338 Norma Magnum, which is not the Winchester Magnum. Oh, there we go.
Like that.
Yes, but faster, much faster.
Yeah, that one's actually hand cranked.
Yes, that's an old Gatling gun.
Yep.
But this one, like I say, it was actually designed by General Electric originally. They bring good things to life.
Yeah, they do.
But a Dillon Arrow is known as one of the few remaining manufacturers of it, and they were there at Shotshow with their 338 Norma Magnum. Now, the interesting thing is they picked the Norma Magnum over the Winchester Magnum, and I wonder if that is going to push the popularity of the Norma Magnum cartridge ahead of the Winchester Magnum. Because right now I think one of the most popular 338s, of course, is the Lapua, which is a huge bullet, and it's capable of thousands of yards of distance. But we'll see. Curious to see, but just the fact that they're making it bigger and better is it's the American way of doing things.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's like being in Texas.
If you can kill good with a 7.62, let's bump it up to a 338.
Clearly, you can kill better with a 338.
That's right. If you can kill good with a 30 caliber, let's bump it up. Now, on that same note, 6,000 rounds per minute is listed, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, as the fastest firing machine gun. And it's 10 times faster than a standard one-barreled machine gun. But now, a company called Metal Storm has developed a new, I don't even know if you call it a machine gun, because it's electrically fired, and it will fire, 16,000 rounds per second.
Holy cow.
Which means it could hit 1 million rounds a minute.
A million rounds. Imagine that.
It just hums. You don't even hear it. Now, it does this. I mean, obviously, you can't do this by ejecting shells and chambering new shells. They do it with ammunition that has no case, no primer. It just has a propellant attached to the bullet, and they electrically fire it.
They just cut out the middleman.
Yeah, I mean, that way there's no shells coming out.
Yeah,
it just fires row after row after row. It just cycles through and electrically fires them. It's controlled by a computer, and you can fire one round, or you can fire thousands of rounds just by touching the keys on the keyboard. Wow. So the future is here.
How
now,
would you like to be the Taliban on the end of that? Well,
there's nowhere to hide.
They're scared of the Hercules plane. Ooh, wait till they get a load of that.
I know, 1 million rounds. Now, obviously, I don't know if it can hold 1 million rounds. They're still working on it, and it has 36 barrels and uses caseless ammunition.
About, you mean can the Taliban body hold 1 million rounds, or can the?
Yeah, I looked at how it was loaded. It looks like they just stack in there in each barrel. 36 barrels, all stacked with ammo, and it looks like a box. It's very small. It was very compact considering how fast it could fire. And that's something it's coming. Electronics are being pushed into guns, so that's cool.
America.
Yep. And speaking of American, there was a Texan. Okay, most people think of a long range as maybe 200, 300, 500, 1,000 yards. Long distance, that's pretty good. I mean, I can't shoot 1,000 yards and hit anything unless it's by accident.
I can shoot 1,000 yards. I just can't tell you what I hit until
I can't tell where the bullet's going.
Yeah. After I hit it, I'll tell you.
I can pull a trigger on anything almost.
Absolutely.
It's like I can twist the throttle too and push an accelerator.
I'm straight.
Might not be able to control it after that, but anyway, this guy in Texas, a man from West Texas, just set a new world record after hitting a target 3 miles away. Whew. In case you're wondering, he hit a 53-inch target from 5,280 yards away.
So basically, if you hear that shot, he missed.
Oh, that's right. If you hear it, because that shot probably travels faster than the sound.
There's no doubt. So
if you heard it, you weren't the target.
If you heard it, you either weren't the target or missed, and you need to run.
That's right. That is crazy. But now this apparently he fired 38 shots. Apparently before getting one. Or that was the previous record. He did it after firing 8 shots. The previous record required 38 shots to shoot 5,000 yards, and he bumped it up to 5,280 yards with 8 shots.
And
so
what did he hit?
He hit a 53-inch target, so like 4.5 feet by 4.5 feet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's easily, and any car would be in danger with him shooting at them.
Yeah. That's crazy.
and you wouldn't see anything.
And you wouldn't see, like I said, yep.
But now, unfortunately, the Guinness Book of World Records doesn't recognize people who use optics on their weapons for long distance. So, but still, I mean, that's probably going to change because optics are so common now. There's even optics on handguns now.
Well, pretty soon you're going to have the optics built into your glasses, and you can just put the glasses on.
That's right, and shoot. Well, they've had the, what was that gun called? They had one that had a trigger that you pull, and it didn't release the round until you moved the gun around until it was on the target.
A smart gun.
You couldn't miss. Very difficult to miss. You just move around. You get when it sees the target and gets the conditions, it fires the round.
Was that the eye gun?
Yeah, I forget what it's called. I'm gonna have to look it up now. I can't find it. But yeah, now a shot this distance is just there's so many factors to consider. I mean, you have to consider how much the Earth curves in 3 miles.
Oh yeah, you've got to consider not only that, you've got to consider. I mean, everything, the humidity,
That's right, the temperature, the humidity, pressure, all that was a factor. And they like to shoot a little warmer temperature because the air's a little thinner, it travels a little better. Yeah. And there's what they call spin drift. As the bullet's spinning, it tends to drift to one side or the other depending on which way the rifling is sending it. Right. You have to consider that at 3 miles away.
Man, that's crazy.
So you have to be a physicist to make this shot probably. So this guy has his math down.
Sheldon
down
Cooper
spot.
might be able to do it.
That's right, if he believed in guns.
If he believed in guns.
But I'm pretty well. His character's from Texas, so who knows?
That's true. That's true. So.
But now he's going to attempt to break this record and go for a 6,000-yard shot.
Wow.
In the near future. So he's looking for a place. He needs a 5-mile piece of range to be able to fire it on because you can't just go in someone's backyard and shoot 5,000 yards away or 6,000 yards away.
Nope.
I mean, that's over 3 miles away. You got to have a clear shot and a clear view of what you're doing. So there's that to consider.
That's just awesome.
But that's great. This is America, though. Bigger guns, longer guns. That's right. We're going to shoot farther, faster, more powerful than anybody else.
Absolutely.
And speaking of more powerful and bigger,
yes,
they have an AK-50. You may say AK-50. Well, you mean AK? Well, now the 47 relates to the year. This 50 relates to a 50 caliber. 50 caliber AK.
Man, do not tell the Democrats.
Yeah, because they would be mad about that.
Dude, they're going to need safe closets and cry spaces and.
Well, nobody needs a 50 caliber to hunt deer.
Anyway, I got it.
That's right. But it's got AK Guy Inc. has come up with hands down one of the most badass weapon systems ever. All right, we're going to come back and talk about it in just a second. Right now, we're going to take a quick break. This is America's Web Radio. This is Locked and Loaded, and I am Roger B.
This is David Donaldson with the Atlanta Healing Center, conveniently located in Lawrenceville, Georgia. At AHC, your success is our goal. Addiction recovery is about more than just not using. It's about becoming a whole person and addressing all aspects of your physical, psychological, and social needs. Please call us at 770-696-9862, or you can reach us on the web at www.atlantahealingcenter.com.
If your health insurance premium is more than your mortgage, Ellen Deal with Ideal Solutions is here to help. Whether you're a small business owner, individual, family, or baby boomer, email maga45cag@gmail.com and I'll respond with 3 easy questions to help you determine if you can get away from Obamacare. As a 20-year veteran of the insurance industry, I'm here to help with all your insurance needs. Email Ellen Deal at maga45cag@gmail.com.
Hi, this is Steve Ronaldo, host of the Classic Car Show on America's Web Radio. Just talking to you about antique car insurance. I think that if you're looking for the best coverage for your classic car, consider J.C. Taylor Insurance. They've been my insurer for years in this hobby and have the top rating of all of the insurance companies in the hobby. When you get ready for insurance, call J.C. Taylor or visit jctaylor.com on the Internet.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
And we're back. This is America's Web Radio. I am Roger B., and you're listening to Locked and Loaded.
Locked and Loaded.
And that voice you hear on the side is Victor Armendariz from On Point with Victor. Now back to
because you just can't get enough.
That's right. We need more Victor in our lives.
Doesn't everyone?
Absolutely. Oh, he's here for the second hour to help me out with the gun stuff.
I may have to bail on you, though, here, but people need to stay tuned for guns, and guns.
We're going to get into more guns this time. We discussed the politics. Now we're getting into the guns. And this guy at akguy.inc has come up with, hands down, one of the most badass AK-designed weapons ever.
AK-50. What is the barrel size on this thing?
Oh, 50 caliber.
No, that's not what I meant. I mean,
there are two different versions.
Yeah.
One has a 20-inch barrel, and the other one has a 29-inch barrel.
No kidding.
Yep. And now they look like an AK-47, just everything is scaled up, reinforced, heavier steel, but it's probably the biggest scaled up version of an AK that anybody has ever made. And he's been working on it since 2016, and it's still not quite available, but he's got working prototypes now, so there's a good chance before the end of this year you can buy an AK-47/50 caliber.
That's just music to my ears.
I know, because bigger is always better.
Always better.
Now, I've shot a 50 caliber, and her name is Black Betty, and she has drawn blood before.
Oh, Black Betty.
That's right.
Black Betty's drawn blood a couple of times.
That's right.
And that was quite funny.
Yeah, because, you have friends, you tell them, hold on, put this in your shoulder, hold it tight. And they say, oh, I got this. Boom, it goes off. The scope rides up his nose, scratches his nose, bumps him over the forehead.
Gives him a black eye.
That's right. Because, the 50 caliber is no joke. It's a powerful cartridge.
Very powerful. If you don't brace yourself and if you can't take
just
that
hold it like you should any rifle.
Gun. That's true.
Any rifle should be held the same way, tight in the shoulder, and they're fun to shoot. So if you get a chance,
blast to shoot.
If you get a chance, shoot a 50 caliber. They're fun.
We were shooting Black Betty 400 yards.
Yep. Between 400 and 500 yards. Yeah, which is nothing for that gun.
Well, it's not, but it was a blast.
Oh, it's fun, though. Yeah, just letting loose on one of those. Yep. So if you get a chance, and anybody who gets one of these, send me a picture. By all means, send me a picture if they get these released.
Send those pictures to Roger at americaswebradio.com or Victor at americaswebradio.com.
That's right. I just want to see this. I mean, I've seen pictures online. It looks like it's going to be an amazing weapon. I think it's going to be somewhere a little over 30 pounds. So it won't be a lightweight gun, but it's going to be amazing looking, though.
What you meant to say there, it'll be worth it.
Oh, yeah, worth every penny of that. It's cool. Yeah. So they're coming out. Awesome. It's just neat. Probably the best evolution of what an AK can be.
I love it. Nothing better than an illuminating gun.
But in case you want to work on something that's available right now, how about a homemade revolving cylinder 12-gauge shotgun?
I'll take it.
Yes. All you need is a $200 3D printer and parts from Home Depot or Amazon. Yes.
Do you know how many people you're sending to a cry closet right now? Or a safe space?
That's right. It's got a 6 or 7 round revolving cylinder that go around and will fire 6 to 7 rounds. It's a pump action, and every time you pump it, it fires another round, and you can make it all from parts you get at Home Depot or you make with your 3D printer.
Roger, you just I'm going to let that go.
Okay.
I'm just going to let it go.
I must have missed something.
The listeners out there are going, hey, no. Yeah, they're probably going. Well, me and the IT manager here are having a blast with Roger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact that you can make a homemade 12-gauge shotgun that has a revolving cylinder is amazing. 3D printing has pushed guns to the point where you don't even need to buy that many parts.
That's true. And if you want to play a joke on any of your Democrat friends, replay this show and make them listen to it.
But, I mean, imagine that you have a $200 3D printer and parts you buy at Home Depot. He actually has a list. It's called the Liberator 12K. If you look it up, there's a couple articles about it. He has a list of parts that you can buy on Amazon and one other source. Amazon or Home Depot, he lists every nut, every bolt, every spring that you can buy and build this thing from parts. Now, I don't know if he's got plans available for it yet. I believe he was going to release the programming to do the parts, to be able to do the parts.
That's beautiful. And I'm just going to say, all you millennials out there and you socialist-leaning millennials and you tech socialist-leaning people, this is your fault. You're the ones that wanted Amazon. You're the ones that wanted everything online.
Well, you start making you start trying to take gun rights away. People are going to find a way around it.
You know what, Roger? That's so true. There's nothing comes close to American ingenuity.
That's right.
You try and take something away from us, we adapt.
That's right. They tried to take our freedom in 1776, and look what happened.
We took
down an empire.
Yeah, we did.
Now, I wonder, though, do the British feel the same way when the Brexit thing went through a couple days ago? Do they feel free?
You
Do
think
they
they were
feel like
having
they accomplished something?
What you mean is, did they feel a little American?
Should we have sent them a couple kegs of beer and some nachos?
Should have. Absolutely. You can introduce this to some nachos and beer to take place of that fish and chip stuff they eat.
That's right. Well, they're becoming more independent. Maybe they learned after 230,
It only
35
took
years.
230
40 years. Yeah. Maybe I should take a lesson from those American chaps.
Yeah, I can hear it now.
But yeah, so homemade guns. It's becoming the way of the future. This is the way things are going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, AR-15 lowers are already available on your 3D printer. The Liberator pistol, the original one, was like a 2-shot 32 caliber made of all plastic.
Wow.
I think it may have had a steel sleeve, but I don't remember. But it was no rifling in it though. This has no rifling because it's a 12-gauge shotgun.
Right.
But it actually has a cylinder that revolves, and the way they did the revolving cylinder is they cut zigzags into it, and a piece rides along the zigzags and moves it forward every time you pump it.
Every time you pump
it goes zigzags back and forth and moves that cylinder one step forward. So it's great ingenuity here, and Americans are known for ingenuity.
American ingenuity. There's second to none.
So if you want to try and build your own gun, the Liberator 12K is the 12-gauge revolving cylinder shotgun that I think everybody should try and build if you have a 3D printer.
Yeah, absolutely. And the message to doucheberg is you can try and take away our guns, and we're not going to stand for it.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. We'll find a way around.
And we will find a way around.
Americans are very ingenious.
Just wait. He's going to call for banning of 3D printers before long.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, let's just ban everything.
Yep, we're going to ban everything.
Yeah. As soon as he puts his armed guards away, then we can have a discussion.
You know what? Roger, that is so true, and I've said this before about all the bureaucrat and I'm trying to be nice, the politicians out there who want us to stop flying and want us to not drive cars and all this. You first. This is my message to the Green New Deal, to Ocasio-Cortez and Sanders. You first.
Set the example.
Exactly. When you stop flying and you stop driving SUVs and you stop having armed guards, then talk to me about me doing it.
Set an example.
Yep.
Like Ocasio-Cortez was she eating a cheeseburger somewhere after she just talked about getting rid of all the cows?
She said cows are causing too much climate change. We've got to get rid of meat. But somehow she gets to sit
that same
with her
week she was chowing down on a giant cheeseburger.
Fat burger.
And it was not a plant-based burger either.
No, it wasn't 100. Well, it might have been 100% beef, but it wasn't 100% plant-based.
No, well, they keep saying plants that turn into something that tastes like beef. It's like cows have been doing that for years. Cows eat grass, they turn into something that tastes like beef. It's amazing.
It is an amazing thing, and it's been happening for how long? And we don't even have to do anything special. Just put the cow out, let them eat.
Give them the green stuff to eat, and they turn it into a cheeseburger.
I'm all about green pastures.
That's right.
I'm all about it. I say feed those cows. Get them nice and green.
That's right. But if you get a chance, go look up this guy's website, 12K. The Liberator 12K. Awesome. And it's just awesome that you can do this with a 3D printer and the parts from Home Depot. And he shows you the parts and everything he's used to make the striker and make the firing pin spring, and everything is there. Easy to get parts. Beautiful. But now let's talk about some guns that are a little less homemade.
Beautiful.
Like Springfield Armory's latest, I guess.
I like Springfield.
Yeah, they make some neat stuff.
The Springfield, Massachusetts is nice too, but Springfield guns.
Yes, but Massachusetts is so anti-gun. You wonder why they would stay there.
Why would they stay there?
One of the oldest gun manufacturers in the country, but they do have a tradition there.
They do, but you got to ask yourself at some point: at what point do they leave?
That's the thing. I mean, that's what Magpul did in Colorado. They said if citizens of Colorado can't have our products, we're moving. And they did.
And they did.
They moved their stuff somewhere else.
And look, it would suck to have to leave Springfield. I spent 2 years there. I love it. It's a great place. But you know what? I wouldn't. Tradition aside, I mean, I love tradition, but I would have no problem with them if they said, hey, look, we've got to pick up. I would hope they would come to Georgia.
Yeah. I mean, they'll probably go somewhere with no state taxes.
No, they'd probably end up in Tennessee.
State income tax, which Georgia still has a state income tax. They have Tennessee, Florida.
Yeah, New Hampshire. The state of Washington doesn't have an income
really?
tax. Yeah.
And crazy. Those people are very liberal as well.
Yeah, I know. And you know what they're doing right now?
Taking all your gun rights away, but they're giving you no taxes. So,
well, they're trying to enact an income tax. But the people stand up against that. They won't stand up for their Second Amendment, but
they'll stand up for the taxes as long as there's money involved.
Yeah.
Follow the money.
Follow the money.
There you go.
Amen.
But anyway, Springfield, they brought out a version of the Saint, which is their AR-15, AR-10 variant that they've come out with, and now they have a quick takedown version. So you basically pull a lever, flip a latch, and the whole barrel assembly comes off.
And fits in your backpack.
It can, and you can put you take the barrel off, take the receiver apart. Everything fits in very small package with a 10-inch barrel.
That's awesome.
It's neat. It's a cool takedown. There's so many takedowns out there now.
You can even hide it in your pants.
Well, if you wear big enough pants, I suppose you could. But they have a patent-pending ratchet barrel takedown system.
That's awesome.
Now, they don't have all the full information available. It's supposed to be out this spring, so a couple more months. But they have a pistol version, which has what they call the tail hook or pistol brace, which means it doesn't have to be a 16-inch barrel. So it can be very short, very compact, and make for a really interesting package. This is going to be so cool to see this.
That's what she said.
And again, I think a lot of this is due to the fact that the the manufacturing techniques have gotten so precise that you can actually make something that comes apart and goes back together and holds zero, still functions and works well. So Springfield's taking advantage of all that, and they're coming out with new stuff. Yeah, like I said, this is the week where everybody comes out with the new stuff.
Yeah. So you will have to keep your eyes peeled so you can continue to bring the new stuff.
That's right.
To the fans of Locked and Loaded.
That's right, and the new stuff and the politician new stuff. But we're trying.
You know, you won't hear it anywhere else probably, except on the airwaves. It's Locked and Loaded.
That's right, Locked and Loaded on America's Web Radio. Oh wait, we weren't ready for that yet.
Not yet.
But anyway, so SHOT Show was last week, and I've got a few of the. There's a few people who have thrown out a few things that they think are probably the most prime examples of innovative weapons that have come out from the SHOT Show. First one coming out was Mossberg. Came out with the 940 JM Pro auto loader. Now, for those of you who know Mossberg, they've had the JM Pro 930, I believe it was, and JM stands for Jerry Mikulek. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. But Jerry and his daughter Lena built this with competitive shooting in mind. So, those guys can shoot. If you've seen Jerry, he's one of the fastest shooters in the world that has ever lived. He is amazingly quick. He can shoot a revolver faster than most people can shoot a semi-automatic weapon, even with a reload. And if you've seen him reload a revolver, it'll shock you how fast he is. But they designed this thing to be, I guess, more of a three-gun competitive shooting semi-auto shotgun, which is, and at $1,015 suggested retail, it's a great price. So that's something to be considered, because most competitive shotguns run several $1,000s. But this one, like I say, retail of $1,000, which means in Mossberg street price, you're probably going to be well under $1,000 by the time it gets to the street. So that's something to look for. I'm looking forward to handling one of those. All right, we're going to be back in a few minutes. We got to take a few messages. This is America's Web Radio. You're listening to Locked and Loaded, and I am Roger B.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for...
Get your pen and paper ready. If there's a move in your near future, I'm here to tell you that the folks I used and now recommend is Around Town Movers. Timothy and the guys recently moved me, and I am and was totally satisfied with a sometimes not so fun experience moving. Call Timothy at 770-378-4708 and make it a good move and a good experience. Around Town Movers for that local or cross-country move. Timothy, Around Town Movers, in my opinion, are the best. That's Around Town Movers. Call them. Want to give your family or loved one the perfect gift? Then go online and check out the TornadoBodyDryer.com. I love mine and the warm heat air massage it gives me after my shower. The Tornado Body Dryer is super. You'll love it, and you'll love having one in your shower.
The Docs for Patient Care Foundation is your way to join the fight and become a member of an organization created by doctors for patients dedicated to fighting for your healthcare freedom and preserving the doctor-patient relationship. Get a pen and paper. Write down www.docsforpatientcarefoundation.org. That's www.docsforpatientcarefoundation.org. Go to our site and please make a generous tax-deductible donation and join the fight today. Thank you.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
And we're back. I am Roger B. This is Locked and Loaded, and you're listening to America's Web Radio. Right before we left, we were talking about some of the highlights from Shotshow. And I'm getting into a few of those. We talked about the Mossberg 940 JM Pro Autoloader, great semi-automatic shotgun, probably for 3 guns. And at a retail of $10.15, oh my God, that's going to be amazing at street price. Next is the Bergara B14R. Now this is a Bergara, if you know, they make rifle barrels. They're specifically known for making barrels, and they started making weapons a few years ago, complete weapons. And this is a precision rimfire rifle. Not exactly something that a lot of people get into, but it's becoming more and more popular, and precision rimfires are becoming more and more available at better prices than they've ever been before. Before this, a precision rimfire rifle was generally something that was several $1,000s, had to be custom built, and then required all kinds of special ammo to make it shoot as good as possible. But now everybody can have a precision rifle. This is, it's a precision rimfire rifle, so it's more for training than anything else. However, if you're a hunter, this would be great for small game because it's super accurate. This way, if you're shooting squirrels for meat, you can shoot them in the head, keep all the meat there, or anything small, bunny rabbits, squirrels, whatever you want to eat. But it's a single stack magazine, and it has the same dimensions as a short action accuracy international chassis system. So something to know. And Bergara makes top-notch barrels, so you know it's going to be accurate. And it retails at $1,150. I know, not exactly cheap for a rimfire, but still, for the Bergara name, you get quality for your money there. Now, probably one of the neatest things to come out this year has been the re-release of the Colt Python. Well, those of you who know, the Colt Python is a legendary 6-shot revolver chambered in .357 that was around back in the 70s, 80s, and it was renowned for having a super smooth, light trigger, because a lot of the parts were hand-fitted. So what they've done now is they've removed a lot of the hand-fitted parts, but again, with better manufacturing techniques, they claim the trigger is even better than it is on the original Python. It says consistent trigger pulls in both single and double action, and they have 2 barrel lengths available, 4 1/4 inch and 6 inch. Now this gun is not inexpensive. It's $1,499 is suggested retail, but if you've looked at the price of old Pythons lately, this is about half the price of what the old Pythons are going for. So if you really want to get into the top-notch .357 Magnum revolver, the Colt Python is probably the way to go. And it's a Colt. Been making revolvers probably longer than anybody else in the world. Well, I should say mass-produced revolvers. All right, and the next one we're going to go to is we've actually talked about this one before, the Laugo Arms Alien 9mm. This is a gas-operated 9mm pistol with a fixed barrel. Now, the neat thing about gas-operated is it doesn't require the recoil of the cartridge to function. It bleeds gas off the barrel and uses that to function the action. Now, the action on this is just the slide. The slide doesn't move with the barrel. The barrel stays fixed, and the slide is wrapped around the barrel, so when the slide moves, the whole top of the gun stays still. It's a weird design, very weird design, but gas operated means it should be extremely smooth. The trigger action should be extremely light, and it keeps the sights from moving. So if you're shooting fast, those sights aren't moving with the slide every time the slide comes back. So it should be very easy to shoot fast. It's originally designed for competitive shooting, like IDPA and USPSA. But if you want one, they're going to be $5,000. So they're not cheap. I'm sure you could take a Glock or a Springfield or a Smith & Wesson and spend a lot of time on it and still be under $5,000. But you won't have the coolest gun at the gun, at the schoolyard if you don't get the Laugo Arms. Next, Sig Sauer is jumping into the precision rifle field with their new Cross rifle. Now, if you look at it, it's pretty normal. I mean, you get a precision adjustable stock, and you can manipulate it in a bunch of ways. Adjustable cheek piece, length of pull, all the standard, precision rifle amenities are on the SIG. So it's a short action rifle, so probably 308s, 243, maybe 6.5 Creedmoor. Oh, and a 277 SIG Fury, which I don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up. It's SIG's new hybrid ammunition. It's a 277 caliber. Oh, interesting. A little bigger than the 6.5, but not quite as big as the 308. And it's going to be a retail of $1,779, which seems pretty standard for most of these precision rifles. The fact that you can buy a precision rifle out of the box that can shoot as well as most of these do, the SIG, the Ruger, the Savage, any of these, for under $2,000 is just amazing compared to what they used to cost. Next up would be the Glock 44. For those of you who don't know, the Glock G44 is a 22 caliber long rifle pistol. This is the first time Glock has jumped in probably 40 years. The first time they jumped into an actual rimfire pistol. There have been conversion kits available by other companies to convert Glocks, but this is the first time there's been one developed by Glock. It's a 10-round single stack magazine. It's got what they call a hybrid steel slide that's light enough to reliably cycle 22 long rifle. Because with conversions, you have to swap the whole top out because the Glock slide generally on any caliber is too heavy for a 22 to cycle with just the recoil. And it has a similar dimension to probably a Glock 19, so it'd be really good for training. If you use a Glock 19 every day for everyday carry, this would be a good way to train using 22. Get a brick of 22 for $30-$35 and put 500 rounds through it and not break the bank. So that might be kind of fun. So we'll have to see. Now the Glock is coming in at about 16 ounces, $359. Go to Glock.com and see that one, although there's been a ton of reviews on it already. The next one, let's see if I can get this right, the Volquartsen Ultralight Mod Shot Rifle. Now, Volquartsen is known for making precision parts for Ruger 1022s. And this Mod Shot apparently is similar to a 1022 receiver that's custom made by them. But it's a super lightweight rifle. In fact, it weighs only 3 pounds, 13 ounces, so under 4 pounds. It has a lot of carbon fiber. It has a lot of black aluminum. And you can put optics on it, which of course would probably bump the weight up quite a bit. But, with a trigger pull set to 2.25 pounds, it's going to be an amazing gun. 3 pounds, 13 ounces, 2.25 pound trigger pull, and a retail price of $1,769 because none of their stuff is inexpensive. It's all a little pricey, but it is all top quality. So, again, this is one of those get what you pay for things. And if you're into 22 precision semi-autos, Volquartsen probably has a name that no one else can beat. Of course, the Ruger 1022 is probably the most famous one, but Volquartsen took it to the highest level with some of its parts and some of the changes they've made. Now, the coolest gun, one of the neatest things I saw that I was looking at was Kel-Tec's new P17. Now the P17 is just a 22 caliber long rifle pistol that holds 16 rounds in a magazine, 17 rounds total. Now it's fully ambidextrous safety, fully ambidextrous slide release. It's very compact. It's got plastic, a lot of polymer parts in it. I'm not going to say plastic. Polymer parts in it. And it comes with 3 magazines, which is one thing about Kel-Tec's. Most people are like, oh, the magazines are impossible to get until they've been out for a while. But here's the best part about it. It's being released at a retail price of $199, which means it might even be a little cheaper than that on the street. Now, this flies in the face of the Glock that just got released at $359. Of course, a Kel-Tec is not a Glock, and I understand that. But still, 17-round pistol for $199 that's made by Kel-Tec, which is a very respected name. So it should be a fine weapon and have a lot of... That's easy. You can buy that with a brick of ammo and spend all day out there for under $200 probably once this thing gets out on the street. Now, if you remember, they brought out their CP33, I believe it was last year, and that was a 33-round magazine. Now, this doesn't look like that weapon. That one was specifically built to be a high-capacity one. But this one's still 16 rounds, far exceeds the most 10+1 that most 22s have. You look at your Rugers, the Glocks, the Buckmarks, they're all 10-round magazines. This has 3 16-round magazines with it for $199. Like I said, that's why I was a little excited about that, because that just seems like it's going to be something everybody should have in their backpack going anywhere for $200. And you can go to keltechweapons.com and look that up and see the reports on that. I don't think anyone has, I haven't seen any actual firing reviews of it yet. They are being shipped now in small quantities, but they're going to step those quantities up here very shortly. So you should see them in the next couple of months. The next thing, Walther has brought out the Q4, which is, or the Q4 SF. SF is steel frame. Now, the steel frame is something that's different for the Q5 because most Q5s have polymer frames. Now, they did bring out the Q5 Target competition one last year, and it was a hit. It was expensive, but it was a well-built weapon. If you like steel guns or heavier guns, metal guns, this would be the way to go. And this is the smaller one. It's got a little shorter barrel, 9mm. It's got a little less aggressive beaver tail than the Q5 has. The Q4 is probably, if you're going to carry a steel gun, this would be the way to go. Although I don't know why you'd want to carry a steel gun when they make the polymer one, but some people just prefer it. I mean, I guess it's less likely to be damaged if it were to be dropped or mishandled or exposed to a lot of heat. But it's we've got a wraparound grip panel, Picatinny rail, recessed slide release, and additionally 4-inch barrel, 15-round capacity. So it's probably going to be a little bigger than like a standard Glock 19 or something like that, but the weight is going to be one that's easily going to handle the recoil of a 9mm. And they have it in 2 versions. They have the standard one, which just has open sights, and then they have a second version, which is optics ready, which means it has a cutout for a red dot. And the prices on this one, the standard one is $13.99. The optics ready is going to be $14.99. So that's something to look for in the local gun shops here probably in the next couple of months. We're going to see those coming out. I held one of the Q5s, and I was very impressed with it. It's a heavy gun, but very nice. Okay, and the last thing we're going to get to today, one more Browning X-Bolt Long Range Hunter. They brought out this in the X-Bolt line. The Long Range Hunter combines modern features that precision rifle shooters like with a classic look. So it's got a wood stock that's going to appeal to hunters. It's got an extended bolt handle, recoil pad, adjustable comb. Now, the adjustable comb is not something you normally see in a hunting weapon, but this makes it available to fit more and more people. Now, it's going to be $1,299 and a 6.5 Creedmoor, which is becoming one of the most popular calibers ever. All right, if you get a chance, you can go to abundance of websites and look up all the new SHOT Show stuff. If not, I'll try and bring you some more next time. I am Roger B. This is Locked and Loaded, and you're listening to America's Web Radio.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
Want to give your family or loved one the perfect gift? Then go online and check out the TornadoBodyDryer.com. I love mine and the warm heat air massage it gives me after my shower. The Tornado Body Dryer is super. You'll love it, and you'll love having one in your shower.
If your health insurance premium is more than your mortgage, Ellen Deal with Ideal Solutions is here to help. Whether you're a small business owner, individual, family, or baby boomer, email maga45cag@gmail.com and I'll respond with 3 easy questions to help you determine if you can get away from Obamacare. As a 20-year veteran of the insurance industry, I'm here to help with all your insurance needs. Email Ellen Deal at maga45cag@gmail.com.
Get your pen and paper ready. If there's a move in your near future, I'm here to tell you that the folks I used and now recommend is Around Town Movers. Timothy and the guys recently moved me, and I am and was totally satisfied with a sometimes not so fun experience moving. Call Timothy at 770-378-4708 and make it a good move and a good experience. Around Town Movers for that local or cross-country move. Timothy, Around Town Movers, in my opinion, are the best. That's Around Town Movers.
This is David Donaldson with the Atlanta Healing Center, conveniently located in Lawrenceville, Georgia. At AHC, your success is our goal. Addiction recovery is about more than just not using. It's about becoming a whole person and addressing all aspects of your physical, psychological, and social needs. Please call us at 770-696-9862, or you can reach us on the web at www.atlantahealingcenter.com.
Cool.
You know, he is working on his second career or third career, singing Jodi's. Anyway, with that being said, we got to get out of here. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week with the Georgia Military Hall of Fame Hour. Thank you for listening.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
God bless. You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
Still there?
Want to give your family or loved one the perfect gift? Then go online and check out the TornadoBodyDryer.com.